Brazil have always been favorites at the World Cup. The Selcao have lifted the most famous trophy in football on 5 different occasions, and Rivaldo believes that the unique pressure the country's fans place on their star players will drive the squad on in Russia this summer. Since their first title in 1950, Brazil are currently experiencing the second longest wait they have had to endure to lift the World Cup. Only the gap between the 1970 and 1994 triumphs is longer than the 16 years since Ronaldo, CAAFU et al. Claimed the title in Yokohama. Uruguay score a goal during the FIFA World Cup final against Argentina played in Montevideo, Uruguay. The host won the trophy in match 4-2. The Italian World Cup squad carry their manager, Vittorio Pozzo, 1886–1968, shoulder high following their 2-1 victory over Czechoslovakia after extra time in the World Cup final in Rome. French referee Georges Capdeville looks on as the captains of the Italian and Hungarian national soccer teams Giuseppe Meazza and Georg Sarasi shake hands before the start of the World Cup final in Colombes, France. Uruguay's Juan Alberto Schiaffino kicks the ball past Brazilian goalkeeper Moacir Barbosa to tie the score at 1 during the World Cup final versus Brazil 16 in Rio de Janeiro. Uruguay upset Brazil 2-1 to win its second world title after winning the first World Cup in 1930. Germany celebrate after they won the FIFA World Cup 1954 final versus Hungary. The Brazilian football team running with the Swedish flag after beating Sweden 5-2 in Stockholm. Brazil's Zito celebrates scoring their second goal versus Czechoslovakia in Santiago, Chile. Bobby Charlton raises the Jules Rimet Trophy in the air following England's 4-2 victory after extra time over West Germany at Wembley. Brazil's Pelé dribbles past Italian defender Tarcisio Bergnich. AK scored the opening goal and went on to beat Italy 4-1. Franz Beckenbauer tackles a Dutch player during the World Cup final in Munich. Germany, the hosts beat Holland 2-1. Argentinian players celebrating their victory over Holland. Italians celebrate after their victory in the World Cup final versus West Germany at the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid, Spain. Italy won the match 3-1. Argentina's José Burruchaga scores their third goal versus Germany in Mexico City. Mexican referee Ernesto Codesal Mendez gives a yellow card to Argentina's Diego Maradona. The defending world champions lost 1-0 to West Germany after finishing the game with 9 men. Brazilian players run to join their teammates as Italian midfielder Roberto Baggio bows his head after he missed his penalty kick, giving Brazil a 3-2 victory at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. France's Zinedine Zidane heads the ball through the legs of Brazil's Roberto Carlos for his second goal of the game. Brazil's Rivaldo and Ronaldo kiss the trophy after their World Cup final match versus Germany played at the International Stadium Yokohama in Yokohama, Japan. Italy celebrate as Fabio Cannavaro lifts the World Cup trophy aloft following victory in a penalty shootout versus France at the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, Germany. Spain's Andres Iniesta scores versus Netherlands at Soccer City Stadium in Johannesburg, South Africa. Germany lift the World Cup trophy after defeating Argentina 1-0 in extra time. For those of us raised on 52 years of hurt, it might not seem like the most arduous experience for Brazilian supporters, who have still had 3 Confederations Cups, a brace of Copa Americas and Olympic gold in Rio to toast. But Rivaldo, a star of the runners-up to France in 1998 and the winners 4 years later, is acutely aware that second won't cut it in Russia. AFP, Getty Images. It's difficult because of the pressure from the fans during the World Cup, he said. It has turned into a tradition because Brazil are expected to win and the players have to deal with that pressure. But sometimes a bit of pressure can motivate the players. Other countries do not have the same level of pressure. The pressure is good because it is part of being a player. In certain countries, football is a part of their culture. But they don't have the pressure from the fans. That pressure is good to become a champion and win the World Cup. The pressure is difficult, but that's the reason why Brazil have won the World Cup 5 times. However, that pressure brings no guarantees. As Rivaldo continues, Brazil have always been strong and they have always qualified for the World Cup and never been left out. Brazil are favorites to win the World Cup, but that doesn't mean they will. We hope they perform well in the World Cup, they get to the very end and win the trophy. Brazil have always been favorites at the World Cup, but I don't know if we'll be favorites at this one. Every World Cup top Golden Boot winner, the demands placed on the national team are only heightened by the experience of the 2014 World Cup, when Germany humiliated the host nation in a 7-1 drubbing that will forever scar the nation. Though many of that side have been moved on by head coach Tite, Brazil's focal point remains Neymar, the world's most expensive player and the fourth highest scorer in his country's history at just 26 years of age. 3 months sidelined with a foot injury did not appear to have unduly blunted Neymar on his return to action at Anfield last week, as the Paris Saint-Germain star scored a goal of typical brilliance in a 2-0 friendly win over Croatia, evading 2 defenders before smashing in from close range. That fair ambassador Rivaldo is convinced this can be the tournament where he shines even brighter than he did 4 years ago. If Neymar plays well in the World Cup, Brazil will be even more favorites, but the World Cup is difficult and a lot of things can happen when the knockout stages start, he said. Theoretically, during the first 3 games in the group stage it is easier. But even if Neymar is 100%, other teams are wanting to win, too. It makes things easier if Neymar is 100% fit because he will boost the player's confidence. If Neymar is 100%, it will make it easier for Brazil to win matches, but that doesn't guarantee that we are going to be champions. Even if Neymar plays well, one little slip, the ball goes in and you go home. If Neymar plays well, it's always good for the fans in Brazil. Should Brazil add that 6th World Cup to their haul, then the pressure will all have been worth it. I feel pride, Rivaldo added. It's the dream of any kid who plays football to play for Brazil and to go to the World Cup, let alone win it. That is wonderful. I was happy reaching the final against France, and in 2002 we reached the final again and became champions. This is something I'll never forget and will stay with me forever.